Don't think I dressed up like this for you, darling. Of course I didn't. I did this for myself. Don't think that you can just see this majestic, beautiful, gorgeous, punctual person for free. Oh God, I look bad. I look so bad. But yeah, I should probably go put on pants. Not because it's like, oh, gross dress, ew, no. No, because like I have sensory issues and my legs are literally rubbing up against each other and it's really uncomfortable. So I'm gonna go find some pants. I'll be right back. Okay, it's a little bit better. Hi. It's been a while since I've done these types of videos, like talk about being trans and I guess kind of my journey with being trans. So, hi. First of all, before I get into anything, thank you for the support on the last video I did about being trans. You know, I talked about imposter syndrome. I didn't really know how that video was gonna go, because like I got nervous talking about it, but I really had these big feelings about faking being trans and faking having dysphoria or just have this really big imposter syndrome with am I actually trans or I'm just faking, you know. And it was a lot of pressure, so thank you so for listening to that and listening to me ramble about that. That was really great. I think it still is my most viewed video on this channel, which is really cool. But another thing that's really amazing is just seeing the comments and like seeing all like the support, and not just the support, but also people who talked about their experience or somebody knows experience with being transgender, or having people tell me that this video comforted them. And that made me really happy about that, because I want this channel to be a safe space for a lot of different people, because there's not a lot of safe spaces in the world. So I figured this would be like one of the safe spaces you can go to. So to get away from something and watch this bumbling idiot do stuff. So thank you for that. Also, people who didn't know a lot about trans things, or maybe didn't know about the imposter syndrome when it came to being transgender, they were like, oh, thank you for informing me. And you're like, oh, that's really nice. It's something I really want to do, is to help inform people of that as well, and other issues facing certain people, right? So yeah, I just want to say thank you for that, and thank you for your comments, thank you for the support, just in general. And so I figured I'd make another video talking about this, because I have a lot to talk about. If anyone's asking, Ray, why do you sound different? Why do you sound like you're trying to sound like a guy? Because I'm trying to sound like a guy. Because I've been feeling really dysphoric about my voice lately. Like, I really hate how my voice sounds, and I hate how it sounds so feminine all the time, and like, and plus like 2 videos I posted, someone commented that they thought I was a girl, or I sounded like a girl, and they weren't being malicious, by the way. They were not being malicious at all, in case anyone who like watches this, they weren't being malicious, they weren't being transphobic, they just thought I was a girl, which I perfectly get. Like, I understand. Like, if you saw me and you didn't know I was a trans guy, you probably would think I was a girl, you know. Perfect mistake. So, and I remember, plus I was getting misgendered constantly, like every day at my house, because you know why, but you know, transphobic family. So like on Saturday, I just remember like crying, and like I didn't want to talk for like the rest of the day, because I hated how my voice sounded, how like feminine it sounded, and I don't know, I broke down. I think like a lot was going on like in that day to like maybe break down like that, but like one of them was like definitely because I was feeling dysphoric about my voice. But hey, one good thing came out of it. At least I know I'm not faking. That's the thing. So I guess I start there with voice dysphoria. So I've been feeling that a lot recently. So not just because of those comments, or just because in general, sometimes I watch back my videos to like kind of see how it works out, and like if everything like looks okay or sounds okay. and I hate the sound of my voice. So I hate how like girly it sounds, or like sounds really nasally, and I absolutely hate it. So it's kind of like, oh, gross, you know, and like that doesn't really sound like a guy's voice. And I start panicking, and I get like panic attacks over it, because it's like, well, people aren't gonna think I'm a girl. Well, people are gonna think I'm a girl. They're not gonna think I'm a boy, whatever. And I mean, I I say that, but I'm in a dress today, but but yeah, it just been bothering. That's just been bothering me lately. It's just like trying to sound more masculine, but like you don't. You just sound feminine. You're not on testosterone yet, so you can't really get the voice deepening effect of it. You have to do voice training, and like I'm very inconsistent in my voice training because I keep forgetting to do the voice training. You know, I have a fucking reminder on my phone to like, hey, do voice training, and it's like I can't. But like I just end up not doing it. I think there's like two reasons why I keep not being like consistent in my voice training. Is one, I just forget in general, and two, I think I'm a little scared. Like there's still like a fear inside of my head that like I'm faking it, and I'm not, obviously, because I'm still doing this. And again, like I said, I cried. Oh, I realized how like girly I look and girly I sound. And like there's other things too, not even just like the voice dysphoria. I had like hip dysphoria a couple months ago too. Like I was having on and off hip dysphoria as well, because like my hips and stuff. And like I got to a point I don't want to talk about, but like it got bad, like really bad. But and you know, just dysphoria. And just I realized I do feel a bitch on dysphoria too, so I don't know. Anyway. But I think it's just still a fear that like, oh, or maybe just like a fear like it's not gonna work either. Like, oh, this isn't gonna work, it's not working, blah blah blah. But I have to remember to be patient, because voice training doesn't take like, your voice doesn't sound deep like that, you know? So you have to be consistent with it. It has to take time, like you have to do it every day. And for some people it takes months for voice training to work. For some people it takes years for voice training to work. And it's like, I'm frustrated. I'm very impatient as a person. I just want things like this, you know, but like I have to be patient. Anyway, so I'm gonna try to sound like this. I guess forcing myself to talk in a lower registry and try to sound monotone, but I'm not a very monotone person. So yeah. So that out of the way. Let's talk about other two things I want to talk about with this, and that is the first thing I want to talk about is the use of the term transmasculine. So if you don't know what transmasculine means, transmasculine is kind of a identity where you are assigned female at birth, right? But your gender identity is more male oriented, which might range from a trans man to maybe a non-binary person, or someone under the non-binary umbrella that is more masculine with their identity. At least that's the version I've gotten. If there's any other like definition of transmasc, because I've seen different definitions, so I don't know what the actual definition is. Like if I'm wrong about the definition, let me know. But I've noticed how some people in the trans community, particularly with trans guys, because obviously trans women or trans femmes, I'm not gonna care about transmasc, but like I noticed discourse around that term, because some people, they like the term, they like using it, they think it fits them pretty well, and then some people don't like the term, they think it like that doesn't really fit well with trans people. Some trans guys hate being called transmasc because they feel like it takes away from trans guy. For me personally, I like using the term. I maybe because I don't fully identify as a full binary trans guy, but like I sometimes, like most of the time, it'll be either with a full binary trans guy. I might sorry, I can barely breathe in this. Hang on. Sorry, I have like trouble breathing with this. Not because it's like I have trouble breathing in general, but like with this, it's hard to breathe. So yeah, but anyway, so for me personally, I like using the term transmasc, because I think it fits me pretty well. Like, there are times where I identify as a full binary trans guy, but then there are times where I feel more I feel more comfortable with a non-binary identity with that's kind of more masculine leaning. That's why I use he they, because I'm fine with, because I identify with both he him and they them pronouns. Like, that feels more me than using she her. Am I explaining that right? I hope I'm explaining that right. And I put a poll out yesterday and the day before. First of all, I asked if how many people in my audience are trans guys. Not a lot. Sorry. Nothing against you if you're like, nothing against you. I was just like, I just thought it was funny that like a channel ran by a trans guy only has like a few trans guys in them, but which is fine. I'm not like complaining about it. Obviously, it's nice to have anyone of any gender identity watching my stuff and watching this stupid idiot. But yeah. And then the next day, I asked if you're trans masculine. Well, if you're a trans guy, or if you're like more masculinely of your identity, how do you feel about the term transmasc? And the person that like voted said they're fine with it, which is perfectly fine, like, And I know there's discourse around, some people don't like transmasc, some people do. I don't fully understand like that. I mean, I try to explain from what I've gathered, but I'm sure I probably got it wrong for some people. For me personally, I like using it. I think it fits me personally. I understand. I understand from what I've gathered why some people in the trans guy community do not like to use Transmasc, and that's perfectly fine. You don't have to use it. And the people who don't like using it, they obviously they still are fine if other people use it. They just won't use it themselves. That's perfectly fine. And I can see why like some people may like I can understand if you're like a trans guy, like a full binary trans guy, and someone calls you Transmasc, which also includes like non-binary identities. You maybe might feel less of a man, I guess, because I guess like, because masculine doesn't always mean man, it could just be maybe more masculine presenting, or maybe not full binary man, so maybe they may feel annoyed by that. I don't know, I should not be speaking for this, but yeah, I just want to talk about that because I just want to know, like, is it like okay to use Transmasc? Is it not okay to use Transmasc? Because I use Transmasc because that's how I feel. Sometimes I use just trans guy because sometimes, like I said, sometimes I'm more aligned with a binary trans guy, and then sometimes I'm more aligned with non-binary, but with more of like a masculine leaning identity. That's why I use he they. Anyway, I should probably shut up. Before I get myself in trouble. So I figured I'd talk about something else that I was going to talk about, which is this, my beautiful outfit, and this is for a reason. So before I came out as a trans guy, I hated feminine things. Like, I hated them. I just avoided everything about femininity because I didn't like it. I felt uncomfortable with it. And it just made me feel really gross and icky and weird. So I just avoided things like dresses, skirts, makeup, hair, and wanted to be more masculine oriented with my expression, my, how I dress, how I present. And I still do, but I figured, but when I actually came out as trans and I started identifying more as a trans guy, I started realizing that I'm starting to be more feminine. Not entirely feminine, but like I'm starting to get more in touch with my feminine side. And I thought that was really weird. Hang on. I thought that was kind of weird and somewhat ironic that I'm more starting to be feminine and get more in touch with my feminine side more as a man than I did as a woman. And I didn't know why. And at first I thought I was faking being trans, because why do you want to be feminine now? Like, why you want to be feminine? Just be a girl. Blah, blah, blah. But I think there's a difference between wanting to be a feminine girl and being a feminine boy, right? Like, at least for me. To me, it's different being a feminine boy than being a feminine girl. because being a feminine girl just really makes me uncomfortable. It grosses me out. It makes me feel really weird. But being a feminine boy makes me feel better, and I embrace that more. And I guess that's because I'm identifying as a man, and because I'm starting to get more and more comfortable with my identity, that I'm starting to experiment a bit with my gender expression. So maybe that's why. Because when I first came out as a trans guy, I still strictly was like, oh, I have all the wardrobe. I only want like dressed in masculine clothing, like no dresses, no skirts, no makeup, no nothing, right? Because I was afraid I didn't want to get misgendered. But as I'm getting more confident in my identity and starting to be referred to as a boy by most people around me, my friends, school, the internet, the only people really is my family, which is hard, don't get me wrong. Like I said, I'm misgendered constantly, and like it sucks because what sucks about it is that like I can't tell the people who misgendered me what my actual gender is, because I would probably be in like deep shit. I would probably get kicked out of the house. So, and I like having a roof over my head, so I'm gonna keep that secret a little bit. I'll take one for the team, but I started realizing that it's like, oh, why do I want to dress more feminine now? Like I had these urges to dress feminine and be kind of a feminine guy or a femboy, I don't know. But and I realized that. I remember like texting my friends like, oh my god, guys, I think I'm like a bit of a femboy. And I was like, wow. My friends were like really supportive of it too. They're like, my friend Julia, she likes makeup. She's like, oh, I can do your makeup for you. I was like, oh, that's really sweet, Jules. And my friend Jackson, who's like a fashion expert, he was like, I can help you like pick out skirts and dresses. And I was like, oh, you guys, like that was really nice. I really appreciate that. Like having like people be supportive of me. Like I like that my friends are just on this crazy train with me as well. Like they're on the crazy gender train. Like everything that I'm going through, my gender identity and my gender expression, they're along for the ride, and they seem to be fine with it. Like that's really nice. Which yeah, people are like your friends, your family, like whoever you came out to as trans, they're also on the ride for you, because it's not just you transitioning. Like I said in the last video, it's not just you transitioning. It's everyone else transitioning with you as well. Not in the same way as you, but like getting used to referring to you by your name or your pronouns, and getting used to your new identity and stuff like that. But my friends, I really appreciate my friends. Like I really do. Like if my friends see this, hi, hi, thank you. Like genuinely from the bottom of my heart, thank you, because it really helps. Because and anyone who watches this and refers to me as a man, or you guys refer to me by Ray or use he, they with me, thank you, like from the bottom of my heart. Because on the days where I'm crying and listening to the beautiful boy trying to not be as dysphoric, it really helps to have people say, refer to me by Ray or use he, they when referring to me. It really makes me feel so happy. And be called masculine titles, it really makes me happy. Like I don't even think I can describe to you how happy that makes me feel, because yeah, like, anyway, God, I don't want to cry. I don't want to cry right now. Not because crying's bad, but because like I'm really ugly when I cry. Hang on. Anyway, so back to the dressing feminine as a trans guy. If you are a trans guy or more masculine aligned with your identity, even if you're a cis guy, or and you're like, oh, I don't want to be a girl. I want to dress feminine, but I don't want to be seen as a girl, or maybe I feel too girly with that. Dressing feminine does not mean that you're a girl. You can still be a guy and still wear dresses and wear makeup and do your hair and stuff. And I'm not just saying that because, oh, I'm trying to make you feel better. No, there's actual examples of guys wearing feminine clothing and still being men. For instance, one of my favorite people in the fucking world, Kurt Cobain, he wore dresses. If you see my posts and stuff, you would see I posted something a couple days ago, and it was a Kurt Cobain quote that said, like, I forgot exactly what it said, but it was asking him why he wears dresses or why he wears feminine clothing. and he basically said, it basically just boils down to it's comfortable. It's comfortable and I like it. That's basically his answer, was that I like it. That's why. And he's still a guy. We still refer to Kurt Cobain as a man because that's how he identified. He identified as a man, even if he wore feminine clothes. Freddie Mercury wore feminine clothing, and we still refer to him as a man because that's who he was. He's a man. And he was a man. And we still refer to him as a man, even though he wore feminine clothing. Hell, oh my god. One of my favorite music videos is the I Wanna Break Free music video because I love seeing people in drag. It's fun. Anyway, David Bowie wore feminine clothing. Hell, his whole, like, one of his whole, like, things was being androgynous looking. And I personally respect him for that. That's honestly, like, one of the coolest. He's one of the most coolest dressed people I've ever fucking seen. So, but we still refer to David Bowie as a man. All those glam metal bands from, like, the 80s, you know, the guys with the big hair and the eyeliner and the face paint and all that, they're still men. Even though they dressed feminine, they still are men. And seeing all that, and seeing all the guys that I look up to musically. Oh wait, Darren, yeah. Darren from System of a Down. He also wore makeup in, like, the early days of System of a Down. He wore makeup, he had dyed hair, he wore, like, crop tops and shit. And that was, like, really cool to see. I think, like, after a certain amount of time, like, I think after Toxicity, he started doing that less. But, you know, that's him, though. Like, I'm not gonna say, oh, he should go back to wearing that. If he doesn't want to, it's fine. But, like, I admire people, like, guys who dress feminine because they want to, you know? And they're still all guys. So if they can still all be guys and still wear feminine clothing, then why can't I still be a guy and wear feminine clothing and wear makeup and wear nail polish and do my hair and stuff like that, right? I didn't do my hair for this video, but because I don't know how to do my hair. And then I only wore eyeshadow today, and even then, I don't even know how the fuck I do that. But that's kind of what made me feel a bit more comfortable with wearing feminine clothes as a trans guy, is seeing other men wearing feminine clothing and still identifying as men because they're still men. Gender expression is different than gender identity. Where gender identity is how you identify. That's your pronouns. That's your identity, whether you're a man, a woman, non-binary, agender, gender fluid, like, or maybe a whole nother new gender I don't know about, right? Whereas gender expression is just how you present yourself. You may want to present more masculinely or more femininely, or maybe just more androgynously, but it doesn't matter, right? And why should we have to adhere to those stereotypes of what men are supposed to wear, or women are supposed to wear, or what non-binary people are supposed to wear? Not all women dress femininely. Not all men dress masculinely. Not every non-binary person or anyone underneath that umbrella dresses androgynously. We dress how we want to, and that should be how it is. Unfortunately, it's not because, you know, people judge still, but yeah. So that, learning that and, like, realizing that, and realizing if these guys can wear dresses, wear makeup, wear crop tops, look androgynous, look feminine, just in general, then why can't I? And so I was still afraid to still do it. So what I did was I posted a short where I wore a dress, and it felt good, honestly. Like, I was nervous to, like, post it because I was like, people are gonna be transphobic. They're gonna be like, oh, why are you a guy in a dress, or what the fuck? But thankfully, I didn't get any comments like that, so that's a good thing. Thank you, internet. But after I posted that video and I dressed femininely, I realized I felt more confident in myself after that. Like, I wore that dress for the rest of the fucking day. Like, I put pants on underneath because, like I said, sensory issues. But, because you know, I said the thighs rubbing up against each other, it's gross. I don't want to talk, I shouldn't talk about that anyway. But, like, I wore that dress the entire rest of the day. And that was a dress I didn't like wearing before. Back when I identified as a girl. But now that I identify as a man, I'm comfortable wearing these dresses. And I don't wear them all the time. Obviously, for the majority of the time, I still majoritively dress masculine and masculine presenting. Maybe because I'm still not very manly looking. So maybe if I get more manly looking, maybe I'll experiment a little bit more. Oh, you know what I really want? I really want to do like a glitter beard. You know, like, well, first of all, if I could grow facial hair, which I can, it's just like, you know, it's really weird facial hair. Like, it's either peach fuzz or like a string of hair out, just like poking out my face. I wish I could show you, but I wear a mask. But I really want that. I really want to do that one day. Ooh, I really should. When I get on testosterone, I start like growing a beard. I can like just put glitter on it. That'd be so fun. It'd be messy as fuck though, and I probably would never, ever, ever escape the glitter. But it'd be fun. But yeah, honestly, if you are someone who maybe is a guy, whether a cis guy or a trans guy, or more masculine leaning, or maybe you're a girl, or you're more feminine leaning with your identity, just know that you don't have to adhere to social norms or gender norms to be the gender that you identify as. If you're a girl and you want to dress masculine, go ahead. Who's stopping you, right? Like, if you're a guy and you want to dress feminine, go ahead. If you're not binary, if you want to dress feminine or masculine and not dress androgynously, go ahead. Who the fuck is stopping you? Yeah, people's judgment, but then again, who the fuck cares what people think? They're people. People are judgmental assholes no matter what. Even if you do adhere to the gender norms, people are still gonna be assholes to you. So there's no point trying to appease them. Just do what makes you comfortable. Wear what makes you comfortable. Don't try to please everybody else with how you dress. Like, look, I'm still a guy, and look at me. Cute little dress. Well, there's pants, but there's cute little dress. Eyeshadow. Long hair. Because that's what I like. I like to do that. And I'm starting to become more comfortable doing that. And hopefully other people get more comfortable with how they dress as well. It's clothes. Clothes don't have a gender. Clothes don't have a gender. People do, but clothes don't. It's fabric. But yeah. That's all I really wanted to talk about. I'm sorry if this was a little rushed or a little like ramble all over the place. I tried being organized this time. And as you can tell, that did not work out very well. But yeah, I'm really happy that, like, again, the support of the last video, and hopefully this video might give people a little more confidence, I guess. I hope so. I really hope people don't look at this video and be like, what the fuck is this man talking about? I really hope so anyway. I hope this helped at least a little bit. So, yeah, that's it for now. I love you very, very much. I'm proud of you. And keep being you. Keep being a fucking weirdo, because that's who you are. Anyway, I love you. Bye.